morning, Birmingham. Today is Tuesday, April 25th. Wait a minute. Let's start over. Today is Tuesday, April 21st. The time is now 9:35 a.m. I call to order the meeting of the Birmingham City Council. This morning, our invocation will be led by Elder Wendell Brantley, More Than Conquerors Faith Church, Birmingham, Alabama, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilor Josh Vasa. Elder Brantley, if you'll come on up to the microphone, and if you all please stand and join us.
Good morning to the council. Bow our heads as we pray. Father, we just thank you today. God, we lift you up and we exalt your name. We pray today, God, for this council. We pray for the leadership of this great city. Our mayor, God, we pray for him that you will give him guidance, strength, wisdom, and direction as he guides this city to a better Birmingham. We pray for all the citizens of this great city, all 23 communities, 99 neighborhoods, that you would just cover them, God, with safety. We pray for our law enforcement. We pray against crime. We pray against poverty and anything that will pull down anything in this city. We pull down every stronghold. We ask that you would guide this council, president, and all the officers and all the council members here today. Lord, we pray for peace, unity, and wisdom today. We pray for economic development in this great city, that Birmingham will be a better Birmingham. And we pray that you strengthen us, guide us, lead us. And we ask all of this in your precious name, we pray. And let every glad heart say, amen. And amen.
Thank you very much, Elder Brantley, for that most encouraging prayer. And thank you, Councilor Vasa, for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning, Mr. Clerk.
Good morning, Madam President.
If you'll call the roll, please.
Councilmember Gunn.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Councilmember O'Quinn. Good morning. Good morning, Councilmember Smith. Councilmember Smitherman. Good morning. Good morning. Councilmember Vasa. Good morning. Good morning. Councilmember Williams. Councilmember Woods. Good morning. Good morning. Council President Pro Tem Tate. Good morning. Good morning. Council President Alexander.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Councilors, the minutes are not ready from the meetings of January 6, 2026 through April 14th, 2026. At this time, we'll entertain communications from the mayor. Good morning, Mayor Woodfin.
Madam President, good morning to you. Good to see you. Councilors, good to see all of you this morning. Hope everyone is well. Good morning to the general public as well as those who are here in the chambers this morning. Mr. Nate Langston. You and your crew, come on up. Yes, sir. Tell everybody to come up. Yeah, librarians are not shy people, so please come up.
We are not.
Madam President and Council, at this time, as you know, this is National Library Week. And I am being flanked by not only Janine Langston, who's the Executive Director of our city's public library system, but as well as minimum one of her board members, who she'll recognize in a minute, as well as a host of librarians and support members across our various city. You know, in the city of Birmingham, we love our libraries. Just plain as that. The libraries spark creativity, they fuel imagination, and they inspire lifelong learning, offering a space where individuals of all ages can find joy through exploration as well as discovery. Today, it gives me a great honor to recognize our amazing library team, our library workers, employees, and cohort, as they all do a phenomenal job. And so at this time, Madam President and Council, what I want to do is read a proclamation in part, not in whole. And it states, whereas libraries provide free and equitable access to books, digital tools, and innovative programming, ensuring that all individuals, regardless of background, have the support they need to learn, connect, and thrive. And whereas libraries protect the right to read, think, and explore without censorship, I may sound like a broken record, without censorship. Sorry about that. Standing as champions of intellectual freedom and expression. Oh, did I mention without censorship?
Yes.
And whereas dedicated librarians and library workers provide welcoming spaces that inspire discovery, collaboration, and creativity for all. And whereas librarians, and library workers across the country are joining together this week, to celebrate National Library Week under the theme, Find Your Joy, Find Your Joy. Now, therefore, I, Randall L. Woodfin, Mayor of the City of Birmingham, along with the City Council, be it resolved that and proclaim April 19th through April 25th, 2026 as National Library Week. And during this week, I truly encourage all residents to visit the Birmingham Public Library, explore its resources, celebrate all the ways that libraries help our community, and of course, find joy. With that, everybody, I give you the one and only Janine Langston. Y'all give it up for her.
Thank you. Good morning. Mayor Woodfin, President Alexander, President Pro Tem Tate, councilors and guests. I am Janine Langston, and I have the honor of serving as Executive Director of the Birmingham Public Library System, along with this awesome team and all those that are still back at the library, making sure it's opening and running today. So thank you. Today is a special day because it is National Library Workers Day, and I want to recognize and celebrate the phenomenal BPL team. Many of them have joined me today, along with our board members, Ms. Yolanda Hardy, our board president, Dr. Willie Davis, and Ms. Yaltrisha Coleman. Have I missed anybody? Board members? No. Got them all? Okay, thank you. The Birmingham Public Library has been serving the city of Birmingham for 140 years. 140 years. Today we're celebrating the North Birmingham Regional Library, which has been serving 100 years. So we take pride in our ability to adapt to the ever-changing needs of our community by continually expanding our collections, our services, and our partnerships. The theme, as Mayor Woodfin said, this year's National Library Week is Find Your Joy. It's a really simple phrase, but it holds a powerful truth. Joy isn't something distant or rare. It's something we discover, often quietly, in places that welcome curiosity, imagination, and connection. Places like the Birmingham Public Library. For some, joy is found in the pages of a novel that offers escape after a long day. For others, it's learning something new, whether that's a skill, a language, or a deeper understanding of the world. And for many, it's simply the comfort of a space where everyone is welcome, no matter their background, their age, or their story. Libraries are one of the few places where you don't have to buy anything to belong. You can walk in with questions, with uncertainty, even with nothing at all, and leave with ideas, inspiration, and sometimes even a sense of purpose. That's a rare and valuable kind of joy. Find Your Joy is also an invitation. It asks us to be intentional about what sparks our curiosity and what brings us fulfillment. Libraries make that search possible. They give us access not just to knowledge, but to opportunity, to grow, to imagine, and to dream. So this week, along with Mayor Woodfin, I encourage you to visit a Birmingham Public Library. Wander the shelves, ask questions, Attend a program. Rediscover what's possible. Because joy doesn't always announce itself. It's often something we uncover one page, one idea, one moment at a time. Let's celebrate our libraries, not just for what they provide, but for what they make possible. And let's continue to support them so that everyone has the chance to find their joy. We're honored to be here today, and thank you so much.
Madam President and Council, on a personal note, I do want to thank Janine Langston for her leadership. Of course, the board that you are well aware of, and the amazing men and women you see here, and all the amazing men and women you don't see here who are on post in our libraries right now. I'll be visiting North Birmingham today to celebrate their 100 years with them. As you know, you all have supported some new programming there. Of course, that's a new building. That's not the library I grew up with as a child, but I'll be there with them to celebrate today. So, again, thank you all so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
don't
you.
go
Thank you.
anywhere. Nobody.
Don't go anywhere. All right, Councilor Quinn?
Sure. I just wanted to take a moment to say that thank you. I know as librarians that term and the connotation of librarians doesn't encapsulate all the things that you guys do. Libraries are more than just a repository for literature. They're community centers. And one of the things that I especially want to thank you guys is being a safe space for our children. And I know that in addition to taking care of your core responsibilities, that you're often caretakers for children in our community, especially after school. Go into any library after 3 p.m. and the predominant age group is going to be under 15 probably. So thank you for that, and just wanted to let you know that we recognize that you guys do so much more than just being librarians. Thank you.
Thank you. Pro Tem, do you want to say something?
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Ms. Janine. And as the mayor stated, North Birmingham is where I live, and that's not the library that I remember going to, but it is a beautiful space that has North Star, and we're just excited on what they are doing over there with their chair exercise. They got a food pantry that they provide, food for the community. So they are doing such a great job. Thank you all for the sacrifices that you make and you continue to give, in the communities, and to, as Councilor Quinn has stated, a safe space for our young people and the social workers that are helping people that are unhoused. We really, really, really appreciate, because it takes a collective, for all of us to win. So thank you all so much.
Thank you. Councilor Woods?
Thank you. Like I said, just want to offer appreciation as well. I think y'all have been a tremendous partner, specifically Springville Road Library out of my area. You do so many activities for seniors and children. So my kids love being there, and appreciate the work that each of you all do each and every day. And then also got to throw in a shameless plug, because we're actually partnering with the Springville Road Library today at 5 p.m. So it'll be a great opportunity to come out celebrating Earth Day with DJ Shaheed and Supreme. And so inviting everybody out, 5 o'clock, Springville Road Library. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As you know, each year I say the same thing at this time of the year. I actually worked at the library, served on the library board, and I just have to tell you that the library was always just a solace and a safe place for me as a child. And I remember when I first got my driver's license, I would load up my sister in the horse and buggy, and we'd come down during the summer, and we'd just get tons and tons of books. And I realize now that was my mother giving us our entertainment for the summer, but it certainly really paid off. And so I want to thank you all each for the service that you do. District 7, we just love the Powderly Branch Library. No, we have a former librarian, she's moved on up now. And, Ms. Green, we're very excited for the work that she does in having the STEM room in there, and it's just so many different things they offer to the community. So thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, don't move. See those two photographers, everybody can come in as much as possible. Same question.
Okay. On the microphone.
Thank you again. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you very much. We appreciate that communication from Mayor Whiffen in the presentation. At this time, we'll turn back to we have special presentations. So, Council, if you allow us, by unanimous consent, we'll go to our special presentations for today. We have two presentations by Pro Tem LaTanya Tate.
Good morning, colleagues. Thank you, Madam President, for allowing me to present these presentations today. As I make my way to this podium, I am reminded of the resilience that our scholars, just on last week, yourself and Council Smitherman had your scholars here, and I'm just blown away by the resilience and the things that I continue to see. Council Smitherman, you would really appreciate this. I was going through this city of Birmingham schools, city Facebook page, and I saw a young golfer, the first black female, she's from JO, let me just brag, that she won a golfing championship. And so today I have with me Southampton K through 8 and JO's track team. So if you can make your way to the podium, please. And if parents and teachers are here, please join me. And I know that it's Ms. Foy, the school board, Ms. Foy, and any cabinet members from the board here. There's Ms. Yamika Foy. Any other, and Mr. Collins and Ms. Bowen. Can y'all please join me to celebrate these scholars? Any cabinet members? Ms. Foy. Come on, Ms. Foy. Mr. Collins. Come on up to Mr. Collins. Okay. So I'm going to present the first resolution for Southampton's K through 8, and it reads, whereas it is with great pride that the Council of the City of Birmingham pauses today to celebrate the accomplishments of Southampton's K through 8 Swim Centers, an extraordinary STEM team who were recently named national finalists in the Samsung Solve for Tomorrow competition. Whereas on April 27, 2011, an E4 tornado tore violently through the state of Alabama. The tornado spanned 1.5 miles at its widest point and raged for over 80 miles. During that time, many people had only 10 to 15 minutes to take shelter. This tragic incident was the catalyst behind the STEM team's groundbreaking innovation, a system consisting of a network of 5 specialized weather stations that utilize solar panels, sensories, and Raspberry Pi in a ring. They were especially created to protect the Pratt City and forest their communities by providing 20 to 30 minutes of advance in morning time, doubling an existing average. And I am going to go to the end of the resolution where it says, now therefore it be resolved that the council of the city of Birmingham with Mayor Randall L. Wolf and concurring pauses in its deliberations to honor the Southampton's K through 8 STEM team, the Storm Sentinels, for innovative and potentially life-saving work, which has significantly increased the safety of Birmingham families, adopted this 21st day of April the 22nd at the recommendation of Council President Pro Tem LaTanya Tate. And I will have Ms. Tam come to the mic and have the scholars to introduce themselves.
Good morning. So we have Mr. Jason Walton, who is one of our 8th graders. Raise your hand, Jason. James Spates, 7th grade. Ariel Judkins, 8th grade. Malaysia Brown, 8th grade. And these students, they were one of 10 schools chosen. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Kylie Bennett, raise your hand. I'm so sorry. 8th grade. She in the back. But these students, they were one of 10 schools out of the nation chosen to represent Birmingham City. So they not only, this was not regional, this was not local, this was national. They stayed in Capitol Hill, on Capitol Hill. They met with government officials and pitched to these individuals. So for this type of award, like, this is major because Birmingham City was truly represented well. And you can also go back to the Samsung website. The pitch is still live. It'll be live. It's out there forever. But next year, they're going to take home $100,000. So they ended up winning and securing $50,000 in technology for their school. And we actually get to go shopping. And I also want to add, they went up against a diverse group of people. So these are urban kids from Birmingham City representing on a national stage.
We're going to invite the principal up.
I think she said everything. I want to say I'm very excited and very proud, but I'm not surprised because the expectation at the Hamptons that we do great things. So as I look at my city council members, my former students, I say the same thing about them. I'm never surprised, but I'm excited.
Thank you, and I'm going to present you scholars, and thank the parents for making these sacrifices that you make every day for your kids, and we really thank you. I really thank you guys. I'm super excited on what you all have done for the city and the 50K, and I'm in divine connection with Ms. Tam that you guys will bring. Ms. Clark, that
I'm
you.
the technology integration facilitator
Yes.
for Birmingham City Schools, and myself and Taisha Johnson coached and worked with our students to get to this level.
Amen. That you would bring home the $100,000. I'm going to invite my school board representative, Ms. Foy, up to, does keep me in the loop with what's going on in the school system.
Council President Alexander and President Pro Tem, I do want to thank you guys for just acknowledging us. I know you guys should probably be tired of seeing us here, but Birmingham City Schools, we're doing some great things inside the classroom and outside the classroom. And y'all know our motto, success starts here.
Thank you, school board members, Foy. Now, can I get a unanimous consent for Southampton? And move the. I'm sorry, y'all.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Now move
All
the
opposed?
resolution, please.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Thank you very kindly. The next scholars that I'm going to acknowledge, and they really doing some things that I did in my young days, is run 4x100, 100-yard dash. Y'all remind me of me, but I'm super excited for these scholars, and I'm going to read some portions of the resolution where it says, whereas it is great pride and immense pleasure that the Council of the City of Birmingham pauses today to congratulate the Jackson Olin High School boys 4x200 meter and 4x400 meter relay team on an incredible indoor track meet on Saturday, April the 18th, 2026, whereas the relay teams rank 1 in the 6A division in the 4x400 relay, number 10 in the Southeast region, number 2 in the 6A division, and 4x200 relay, and impressive number 12 in the nation. And I'm going to go and read just the last portion. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Council of the City of Birmingham, with Mayor Randall L. Wolf and concurrence pausing in deliberations to celebrate the extraordinary achievements of the Jackson Olin High School boys 4x200 meter, 4x400 meter relay teams. They have more than lived up to their motto, elite, rank, unstoppable, scary, fast. We congratulate them on their many success and wish them all the best going forward. This is only the beginning, adopted this 21st day of April the 22nd, 2026. Recommendation of Council President Pro Tem Latanya Tate. I also want to add that you guys had some more track scholars who shot put, long jump, that did some great things. So we want to acknowledge them on today, and we'll send some medals back to them. But I'm going to invite Coach Willis to the podium. I'm sorry, Coach.
Thank you, everybody. Councilman, President. Today, my name is Joshua Stillings, head boys track and field coach at Jackson Olin High School. In just 4 years, our program has grown into one of the most successful school programs in the school history, producing state champions, breaking records, and earning recognition across Alabama and beyond. Today, we're especially proud of our 4x4 relay team. We have Derek Bennett, Frederick Reeves, Kai Stewart, and Charles Banks, a group of young men who have developed into the top relay team in the state. The 4x4 is more than just a race. It's about discipline, believing in one another under pressure. These young men represent everything we stand for as a program. But for me, this program has also been personal. Over the past few years, I was a full-time caregiver for my mom as she battled stage 4 cancer. She poured everything into me, and before she passed, she constantly reminded me that these young men need me, that this was bigger than me. In many ways, the program and these young men has helped me in my purpose. On days it's hard, the team gives me strength. They give me something to pour into. They remind me of why I do this. That's why it's more than track and field for us. We're building young men of discipline, accountability, faith, character, young men who are overcoming adversity every day and choosing greatness every single day. We've done it with limited resources, but with a strong foundation and belief in what we're building, and these young men continue to rise and make history. I'm just not proud of what they accomplished on the track. I'm proud of what they're becoming as young men. Thank you for the recognition. It truly means more than you know, and we will continue to represent our school in Birmingham City the right way. And also, I wanted to let everybody know they are ranked #1 in 6A, #2 in the state of Alabama, #1 in the Birmingham metro area. That's including Hoovers, Thompsons, and we made the top 100 in the nation as far as our ranking in times. And the time we ran, 3:17:54, is the fastest time by a 6A program in over a decade. So I really just want to thank you. Thank you.
We're so proud of y'all. Keep soaring. We look the day that we see you all running professionally.
Yes. Good morning. My name is Toya McLean. I'm one of the administrators at PD Jackson Olin, and I just want to say that I am elated to be associated with such wonderful Mustangs. They make me proud. They are legends in the making, and the numbers show it. We want to continue to support these young men. To the coach, Coach Stillings, he's such a passionate teacher, and I just appreciate his heart, and we have the results to show it. So thank you all, and I'm so proud to be an administrator for PD Jackson Olin because we have the fastest young men in the state of Alabama. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Can I get a unanimous consent on the resolution? And now move the resolution. Thank you all. Ms. Foy, you want some last words?
Madam Pro Tem,
Okay.
I think we need to vote.
Hold on, we're gonna redo.
Okay.
Just go ahead. We've got the unanimous consent.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
And now the resolution.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
All right, thank you.
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Councilor Woods, did you?
Councilor Woods, you got something?
Thank you, Madam President. Really quickly, just wanted to congratulate all of y'all young people for your accomplishments. I hope you kind of take the lesson with you of putting in the work will get you the result that you want to see, and so you can carry this with you for the rest of your life. Also got to shout out Principal Willis. He's older than he looks because he was my middle school science teacher at WJ Christian back in 2000. And I got to say, like, he was one of those teachers that truly did make an impact on your life, man. We all loved the class, but we were also most likely to be held accountable and get in trouble in there. So it wasn't that you just let it slide, but just appreciate the impact and happy to see you continuing that in Birmingham City Schools. So congratulations as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Councilor Smith?
Yes, it's always a treat to see our BCS scholars here, so congratulations on all your accomplishments and what you've done. But I do want to also acknowledge some of our central staff members that aren't usually here, Ms. Strode, Dr. Drake, and Dr. Stevens. So good to see you all, and thanks for your support of our students.
Thank you. Councilor Smitherman?
Thank you, Madam President. I'm so proud of you guys from STEM. You know, that's one of those fields, a lot of people that look like us are in it. And I actually voted for you all, so I'm actually really excited. Madam Pro Tem was like, make sure you vote for them, and I did. So I'm really excited. I'm really happy to see, and even though these schools are in my district, success is in Birmingham City Schools. You know, I think it doesn't matter what school you're at, we're still dealing with limited resources compared to our schools over the mountain, but yet we still succeed. So I'm so proud of y'all. The track team, that's huge. A lot of people cannot say that they are winners and champions, and you'll hear adults being like, I was almost there, but you can say, but I was there. But I will say stick with track because that's how you can get college paid for. I played collegiate golf, and my mom said it was much easier, and she was right, to keep an athletic scholarship than the academic one. And track can take you so many places. I went to Hampton University, and 2 of our alum actually went to the Olympics. And so, you know, we could be seeing you now, Coach, with your players, and we'll see you in about 10 years at the Olympics. So I'm really proud of you all. And just like Council Woods, Principal Willis was not only my science teacher, he was my basketball coach. So yeah, that's a whole different Mr. Willis when he's your basketball coach. So I'm not surprised about, you know, Southampton just being very successful. So congratulations to you guys. And however we can support you all, just let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again. Thank you, Pro Tem, for bringing these scholars and these athletes before us today to just recognize the hard work that each of you do, as well as your administrators and your parents. So we're very grateful to each of you for the work that you do. As you said, a board member for success starts here, and it starts right at Birmingham City Schools. I would be remiss if I didn't say we had an opportunity yesterday to jumpstart success and continued success in the city of Birmingham. Grateful to Mayor Woodfin and Dr. Sullivan. They have chartered a commission of people around the city to want to just add other tools for success for our students. So thank you, Mayor Woodfin, Dr. Sullivan, and thanks all of you here today. Thank you all.
Thank you, Madam President. I will end on this note. We are all, some of us are all products of the Birmingham school system. I'm a proud alumni Red Raider. But anyway, thank you all, teachers, parents, the sacrifices that you guys make, school board members, administration that you make. And again, I echo what Madam President said. Thank Mayor Woodfin. Cradle to career. I had an opportunity to stand with him on yesterday, and it's going to be a fantastic program. So thank you all, and we love you all so much.
Thank you very much. Councilors, at this time, we'll return to our agenda, and we will prepare to consider the items that are listed for consent. All items designated as consent, we'll let them leave. All items designated as consent are considered to be routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. No separate discussion of these items will be permitted unless a council member, the mayor, or citizen interested in a public hearing so requests. If so, such items will revert to its normal place on the agenda order of business. All matters of permanent operation, and they're indicated with a capital P on the agenda, will be read. All other matters will be announced by reading the item number only. All public hearings will be announced. At this time, Mr. Clerk, if you'll read the items that are being considered for consent.
Yes, ma'am. Consent agenda starts on page 2 with items 2 and 3. On item 3, we have a couple of corrections.
Could we just withdraw item 3 for now, please, instead of go through corrections?
Well, it's up to the mayor's office. We'd have to withdraw.
It's his item.
Thank you.
All right, pick back up on page 3 with items 4, 5, and 6. On item 5, there are a couple of corrections. The total amount should change to $8,500. And District 6, the amount should change to $2,000, and District 9's amount should change to $2,500. And we are withdrawing item number 7. Page 4, items 8, 9, and 10 are on consent. Page 5, items 11, 12, and 13 are on consent. Item 11, there are a couple of changes to item 11. The amount not to exceed should be $4,000, and we are adding District 8 for an amount of $500. District 8 will add $500 to that total. Page 6, items 14, 15, 16, and 17 are on consent. Page 7, items 18 and 19 are on consent. Item 20 is requested to be withdrawn. Page 8, we have items 21 and 24 on consent. Page 9, we have items 25, 26, 27, and 28 on consent. On item 28, second line, we should change the language from the purchase of, it should be 7 2026 Chevrolet Tahoe four-wheel drives. And it should be $61,585.10 per unit. Page 10, items 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34 are on consent. Page 11, items 35, 36, and 38 are on consent, and that concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you. This time, councilors, are there any items you'd like to have added or removed from consent?
You got some?
Okay. None? Thank you. At this time, we'll entertain. I'm sorry. Is there something?
Yes, ma'am, Madam President.
Yes,
Uh,
Administrator McDaniels.
Before you consider the consent agenda, you allow for the amendment to item number 5,
Okay.
changing the total amount from $8,500 to $9,500, with an additional $1,000 coming from District 8.
All right, thank you. Council, so that was an additional $1,000 added to item number 5 from District 8. Thank you, Mr. McDaniels. Any other items? All right, this time we'll entertain a motion and a second for approval of the consent agenda.
Okay, voting should be open about now. Yes, sir, and President Pro Tem Tate is out. All right, that vote should be up, Madam President.
All right, thank you. Those items that were considered for consent have been approved. At this time, we'll revert to our regular agenda. And Mr. Clerk, I'm going to call some items out of order. If we could go to item 22 first on page 8.
Item 22.
Is that our first open item after number 1?
A resolution appointing one member to the Downtown Redevelopment Authority of the City of Birmingham with said term expiring April the 8th, 2032.
Motion.
All right, thank you. Councilor Williams, this is your committee. Let's know you're appointing.
We are reappointing Joe Ayers for a term of 6 years.
Thank you. Any questions regarding that item? We're ready for the vote.
All right, voting should be open. Councilmember Williams. All right, thanks.
All right, thank you. Item 22 passes, and we thank you for submitting this member for reappointment to the board. Next item.
How would you like to go, 23?
Yes, sir.
All right. Item 23, a resolution appointing 2 members to the Industrial Development Board of the City of Birmingham with said terms expiring April the 10th, 2032.
Motion.
All right, thank you, Mr. Williams.
Okay, we're going to be reappointing Carlos, and I mess up the last name, and then Reginald Coleman. For both of those will be terms of 6 years.
Thank you very much. Any questions regarding those appointments? We're ready for the vote.
Voting should be open. The vote should be open.
All right, thank you. Item 23 passes. We thank you, Councilor Williams, and your committee for providing us these names, and we look forward to their work on the IDB. Thank you very much. Next.
37.
Thank you.
Item 37, a resolution setting a public hearing June the 2nd, 2026, to consider the adoption of an ordinance to amend the zoning district map of the city of Birmingham, case number ZAC 2026-3, to change zone district boundaries from R6, multiple dwelling district, to QMUL, qualified mixed-use low district, in order to allow a boutique antique store, filed by Jeff and Amy Smith, the property owner and applicant for the property, generally located at 3849 Claremont Avenue and situated in Section 32, Quarter Section 2, Township 17, Range 2, West Birmingham 35222. Motion, please.
Second.
All right, thank you. Councilors, this is a resolution setting a public hearing on June 2nd to consider the adoption of an ordinance to amend the zoning district map of the city of Birmingham. Any questions regarding setting this date? We're ready for the vote.
Voting should be open. That vote should be up, Madam President.
All right, thank you. That item passes. We've set that public hearing for June 2nd, 2026, here in council chambers. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Should be item 1. Let's go back to 1. Let's see, item 1, an ordinance to further amend the zoning district map of the city of Birmingham, case number ZAC 2025-15, to change zone district boundaries from all properties in the Eastern Framework Plan area, filed by the city of Birmingham for all properties located within the Eastern area communities, including Airport Hills, East Birmingham, East Lake, and Woodlawn communities, and the hearing of all interested parties. Motion, please.
Motion and a second. So moved. Second. All right, thank you. At this time, we will turn the public hearing over to Councilor Josh Johnson.
Thank you, Madam President. We are here today to review the case number ZAC 2025-00015. Is staff here to report?
Good morning. My name is Kim Sproul. I serve as the zoning administrator in the Department of Planning, Engineering, and Permits.
Good morning. My name is Michael Ward. I serve as principal planner in the city's Planning, Engineering, and Permits Department.
We just have a very short presentation to go over the Eastern Area proposed rezoning plan. So we just wanted to clarify real quickly the communities that we're talking about. So we have 4 communities that are included in this rezoning: East Birmingham, Woodlawn, East Lake, and Airport Hills, and then all of the neighborhoods that are included in those 4 communities. We just wanted to reemphasize the goals for our community-wide rezoning. First is to align our zoning districts with the adopted comprehensive plan for the city of Birmingham, to consolidate our zoning ordinance, and to downzone our heavy industrial sites that are abandoned, vacated, or not being utilized as heavy industrial, to expand our mixed-use areas to establish more vibrant and walkable communities in our neighborhoods, and to implement our new urban neighborhood district in our communities. Just a reminder, as we've gone through all of the framework plan rezonings, any properties that were individually rezoned by this council that had queue conditions, those queues have been carried over throughout this process. So we have not removed any queue conditions that were previously adopted by the city council. For this particular area, the Eastern Area Plan, Planning and Zoning held 5 community meetings to solicit feedback from the residents in these areas. They began in August of 2024, and the most recent and final community meeting was January of 2025. And at that meeting, the community did vote unanimously to support this rezoning plan. So the next step in the process was to take the rezoning plan to the city's planning commission. We did hold a planning commission workshop, and then the planning commission met in July of 2025, and they voted to recommend approval of this rezoning plan. And then we forwarded this item to the Planning and Zoning Committee, where they met and they also voted to recommend this rezoning plan. Just to remind counselors that all property owners within the Eastern area received a notice at the Planning Commission level. So they did receive a notice for the Planning Commission public hearing, and they did receive a notice for today's public hearing. So that's all property owners within the area, as well as anyone who owns property within 500 feet of the boundaries of the Eastern area. So that concludes our presentation from staff. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have about these 4 communities or any of the proposed rezoning changes.
Thank you, Kim. Any questions from the council for the staff?
Thank you. From an economic development standpoint, were the future plans of the airport taken into effect? It looks like some of them were I-3. Okay.
Yes, sir. So the airport, we kept the same zoning, and we were also able to change the zoning for some of the properties that they've recently purchased. So they will all maintain their current zoning for future development.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from Councilor Gunn?
Hey, there is a property in the Woodlawn community that I've been receiving some inquiries about. It's being zoned, the current zoning is single family and it's being changed to light industrial. I guess I want to better understand the case for that.
Do you have the address, Counselor? I don't know that we've upzoned any property.
So the address that I have is in the 5200 block of Division Avenue.
We can look that one up.
Okay. Here, let me see, 18.
Oh, that's the, isn't that the property owned by?
While they're checking on that,
Is it Meadow Plain? Who owns
any other counselors have any questions? All right, we'll wait on this then.
This is like 52 Division.
Isn't it owned by one of the steel companies?
Yes, and steel.
Yeah. So those properties were owned by SMI Steel, and so they are already zoned industrial adjacent to those, so we included I-1 because it's part of their property holdings.
Thank you, Councilor Gunn. Any other questions from council? All right, thank you, Kim, for your presentation. So we will now open this up to the public for feedback, and this is a public hearing. If you're interested in speaking at the podium, please line up to the left side right here. Anyone interested in speaking, feel free to line up. When you come to speak at the podium, please state your name and your address. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to speak. At the 3-minute mark, your time will be up. So we'll hear from the first speaker. Yes, ma'am, please come. And remember, please state your name and your address. Thank you.
My name is, ooh, wow. My name is Patricia Frazier, and I'm really would like to ask a question about my mother's property. I don't live there, but it's right there. The address is 514 48th Street South. And the question I had is just kind of a general question. When I look at the map, and I don't have it with me, but it looks so disconnected from the Woodlawn community, and it's between the Crestwood and the Red Mountain community, and I just didn't understand why it wouldn't be zoned close to the community that it was adjacent to, as opposed to jumping across to where it is. It's considered Woodlawn community, but it's squeezed between Crestwood and Red Mountain. So I just had a question as to what was the objective of separating it like that?
Thank you for your question. Staff?
Yes, sir. So the 48th Street is actually the neighborhood boundary line. So you are in the East Birmingham plan that we're considering today, but directly across the street is Crestwood, which is the southern area plan. We do have maps in the conference room. Okay, we have some planners in the conference room. If you would like, they'd be more than happy to discuss the neighborhood boundaries with you.
Well, I know what the boundaries are. I just don't understand why it's closest to Crestwood. I didn't understand why it would have been considered part of Woodlawn.
You're actually in the Woodlawn community because of the neighborhood your property's in. Crestwood is across the street.
Woodlawn is across the other street.
Right, where you're located. Yes, ma'am.
It still doesn't answer my question. So I just need to talk to them?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilor
Yeah,
O'Quinn for a comment.
So, this kind of relates to how the plant framework, these plans are being done. So the plans are being done largely by communities. So the neighborhoods, so, you know, this relates back to our citizens participation plan and how the neighborhood boundaries were identified and the neighborhoods that make up each community. So sometime, 50 years ago, when the citizens participation plan was developed and the political boundaries of each neighborhood and community were identified, that set, where the boundaries were. And so this rezoning plan doesn't consider that. It is being defined by communities. So all of the neighborhoods that are in the Woodlawn community, Oak Ridge Park, Woodlawn, East Avondale, so on and so forth, South Woodlawn, all of those are in this eastern area. But so even though it's proximate, it doesn't, I guess, getting back to your question, so neighborhood boundaries can change, but the neighborhood associations really determine, where those boundaries are. And that's something that the neighborhood associations would have to work out, amongst themselves and then come back to the council and ask for that change.
So that's what you would have to do if you wanted it changed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilor Quinn. Next speaker. Please state your name and your address. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yolanda Flowers, and I live in the Woodlawn community, Oak Ridge Park. I have a couple of questions that I would like answered. In the presentation, they mentioned queue conditions. So I would like the clarity on that so I can understand that. Although I did miss a few of our community meetings, and it was clear as mud then. So if I can get one of
Do you have
you
a
all's,
specific parcel that you're inquiring about the queue conditions for?
I just want to know, well, just in the, what is the queue condition? I just need definition of that.
Okay, so queue conditions generally are basically each type of zoning gives an allowed set of uses. So for a dwelling district, you know, all of those uses are, most of them are related to, you know, residents. Commercial, you know, so on. And queue conditions actually specify which uses a particular parcel within that zoning category can be used for. So if a zoning change is applied for, going from one category to the next zoning, we can put queue conditions on that new zoning category that further restricts what the allowed uses are. So, for example, you have a piece of property that's going from residential to commercial. You can queue out certain types of uses that are allowed in commercial. Those things are commonly liquor stores, nightclubs, you know, things that generally people, you know, may not see as beneficial to their neighborhood. That's what queue conditions accomplish.
So the next question I want to ask is, why the rezoning in our community? I guess all abroad, the 4 communities, why the necessary, you know, or the necessity of doing that? I just want to know. And I think also you mentioned something about the neighborhood associations can determine where the line is, and I need to know how that is brought about. I mean, how can we determine that when we don't have the legal sense nor regarding that, nor any of the other mapping? I mean, we're not cartographers, so we don't understand that as well. So just clarify something for
So
me.
to your first question, and staff can elaborate on this further, but basically this is a process that the city undertakes typically every 10 to 20 years, where we go back to evaluate the zoning of every parcel in the city to basically make sure that our zoning is aligned with what the property is actually used for or intended to be used for. And just because things change, you know, over time, it's a good process to revisit. For example, you know, Birmingham used to have a lot more heavy industry than it currently does. And one of the things that this round of rezoning is accomplishing is moving some of that heavy industrial to downzoning it to less intensive uses. So that's a very, you know, just skimming over the surface of what this is trying to accomplish. In regards to your second question about the neighborhood boundaries, again, this predates pretty much all of us going back to the mid-1970s when the Citizens Participation Plan was developed under the Arrington administration. That's the city's official community engagement plan. And one of the things that accomplished was giving citizens an opportunity for their neighborhoods to be represented with elected leadership in each neighborhood. You're familiar with this. But the neighborhoods themselves, based on my understanding, determined what their neighborhood was. You know, they said Oak Ridge Park is this street and not that street, and define those boundaries. There's probably still some folks who are around, who were around then, who could elaborate on how that played out. But my understanding is that those boundaries can change as long as the adjoining neighborhoods, you know, consent to the change. So again, it's a process that would have to start at the neighborhood association level, and involve, you know, the adjoining neighborhoods evaluating whether, you know, each side wanted to agree to that.
Okay. One final question, and I'll be done. Now, when you're changing the conditions, the qualified conditions from industrial to residential, is the city doing soil testing and all of that to make sure that there's no contamination taking place in the communities? Have you thought about that? The first thing that comes to mind is like North Birmingham. Because it's contamination in the soil is causing people to be sick. So I was just wondering, when you're transitioning, are you testing the quality of the soil and the pipes and all that to ensure that we're not getting sick through water or, you know?
Thank you, Ms. Flowers, for your question. I believe your time is up.
Okay.
Kim from staff, do you want to speak to that in terms of quality of soil and how that is part of the conversation and consideration for zoning?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yes, sir. So to answer your question, when we initially do the rezoning, we do not physically go out and test soil when we are doing the rezoning process. There are grants that are available to the city that we participate in for assessments to test soil properties. In North Birmingham particularly, when they went through their process, we were able to downzone a lot of the contaminated properties, and we were able to work with EPA on soil testing, but the city itself does not have a program to test soil. We use our other resources available to us for that.
Thank you, Kim. Appreciate the question. Looks like we have 3 more speakers. Next speaker, please. State your name and your address. Thank you.
I am Jacqueline Patton, East Birmingham, Patton Park. So I am a lay person when it comes to zoning, rezoning, whatever. So my biggest question is, would there be any rezoning or zoning or whatever out in the East Birmingham area? Coca-Cola's in my backyard. I have been trying to get in touch with my council person for the last 6 months. 3 months to be exact. Have not been able to get a call back or a text back. So we as a neighborhood need to know what's going to happen in that neighborhood, especially since Coca-Cola has been put there.
That's your question. Thank you, ma'am. I can have Kim from PEP come and
I'm sorry?
speak in response to your question.
I'm sorry?
He's getting someone from administration to respond to
okay.
your question.
Yes, ma'am. So East Birmingham is included in the rezoning. The Coca-Cola site is included. They are actually going to be rezoned to I-1, which is light manufacturing. But the neighborhood surrounding that, their residential uses are remaining the same. So we're not changing where the single-family homes have been established. That's a name change only from the old district to the new, but the manufacturing is not encroaching into the neighborhood.
So one question I have, so out in our neighborhood, they're putting up just anything out there. I had to get on them because somebody had a Sanford and Son junkyard out there. I had to call the city for them to get that out of the neighborhood. There's a car lot in the neighborhood. I don't think are we zoned for car lots and stuff like that?
It depends on the property, but we would encourage you, as you find those uses that are unsightly, if you would reach out to 311. We have an inspection team that will go out and they'll investigate each complaint.
I've called inspection several times about other stuff that's in the neighborhood. Haven't heard from anybody.
I can give you our direct number to zoning
good,
enforcement.
good.
And so we can, after the meeting, I can give you our direct contact information so you can report them directly to us.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Patton. Thank you, Kim. We have a couple more speakers, and I'll sort of remind the speakers that this is the public hearing specific to item 1 related to the Eastern Framework zoning. Please state your name and your address, please.
I hope this is correct. 3357 39th Street North, Marquee. Noise level test for the FAA. They don't make the information public on a regular basis. And I'm wondering how to get that information for the noise, because the noise is really bad over there. And I haven't seen anything anybody suggested anything about noise. Because you're supposed to get insulation in your home for sound level from the federal government for grants. You're supposed to get heat and air units that are specifically built for sound, windows that are built for sound. You're supposed to get all that from the federal government if you live close and the sound levels get to a certain point. And I believe that whole area right there at Vanderbilt and East Lake is loud enough because there's military aircraft and everything else that flies over there all the time. And I'm just kind of concerned about nobody's addressed that. Everybody's doing all this other stuff, but what about the noise?
All right, thank you for your question.
What about the noise? Where's the information? Where do y'all give us information to report this noise level? Where's the number and the information publicly available?
So I hear your question in regards to noise and sound levels and how they might relate to the FAA requirements. That's not direct and specific
Right, I
to
understand.
the Eastern Framework Plan. We do have city staff on hand that could possibly answer your question.
Right, it should be just public information because, you know.
Related to the item that's in front of us, which is the Eastern Framework.
Right.
Correct. So thank you for your question. We may have someone on staff who can assist you if you want to wait around. Thank you. All right, next speaker, please. Please state your name and your address.
Thank you, councilors. My name is Luis Toledo. I live at 59th Street in Crestwood. I know that some of the other council members live there as well. And I have two items today. Firstly, I think that the rezoning is needed, and I appreciate all the effort and work that's gone to rezoning, particularly in the Woodlawn area and creating a business district. So I would say, speaking for myself and the other nonprofits that are in the area, we welcome growth and investment in the Woodlawn area that would improve businesses and improve the community there. But if you would look at the map, especially on items number 15, that area along Davidson Street on the southern end of First Avenue North, that area is a green space, right? It's currently owned potentially by CMC Steel, and we're concerned that any change to that specific area would encourage further development, parking, maybe semi-trucks They're going to come into the area and create more noise, create more pollution. And, you know, it's 2 blocks from a nonprofit that does childcare. And there's a dental office, there's several nonprofits. Rev Birmingham is in the area. So we would encourage you to look at item number 15 on the map and, you know, really challenge the idea that we need more light industrial in this particular area as opposed to the other areas that would essentially create more noise, more traffic, and it could create, you know, a problem for the development and growth of Woodlawn. And like the gentleman said, it's going to create a lot of noise. I know that some of the folks, I live a few blocks from there as well, and you can hear the machinery going on 24/7, and we've been accustomed to that, but this would bring more noise and more, you know, issues with traffic in the area, particularly along those trucks, those semi-trucks that end up getting stuck under the bridge and sometimes fall over.
Thank you for your comments. Councilor O'Quinn?
Yeah, I haven't had recent conversations with CMC Steel, but I have been in the community for a couple of decades, and that area along Division Avenue used to be residential homes, many of them blighted. And so CMC Steel has purchased those parcels, not just along Division Avenue in Woodlawn, but also along Fifth Avenue in Crestwood. And their intention in purchasing those properties was really to create a buffer around the plant. And to the best of my knowledge, they have no intention of developing those properties. They do own them, but their intention in acquiring the properties was, number one, to remove the blight, and number two, to create a buffer zone around the plant. So just wanted to share that information with you.
I appreciate that, Mr. O'Quinn. So you're saying that there will be no development if this gets redistricted from single family to?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, you know, what their intentions were in acquiring those properties at the time. Now, you know, whether they choose to use those properties for in accordance with the zoning, I'm not aware that they have intentions to do that in the future. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Thank you, Councilor Quinn. Thank you for speaking. All right, next speaker, please state your name and your address, please.
Good morning, Councilor. I am Ms. Z.D. Boykin. I am a former neighborhood president of a community called Brummett Heights that is in the Airport Brownsville section of what we're talking about. I'm concerned and want some questions answered and satisfied regarding a landfill, a dump that is in my community. And my community is a residential community. I understand that the city of Tarrant, and I could be wrong, I do not know. As I said, I'm here for clarification. The city of Tarrant has given some trucking company the permission to dump or to come within so many feet of my community, in my community, and go to a dump that we thought for years was not in our community, but we find that it is. As I said before, I'm in a residential community called Brummett Heights, and the landfill is in the city of Birmingham. It has been proven. I've carried some people from the city to show them exactly where the landfill was. So it is in the city of Birmingham, a dump, a landfill that is supposed to be zoned residential. Who's getting the revenue for this from this landfill? Is it the city of Tarrant? Is it the city of Birmingham? What can be done to close it down? What can be done? Because we have children in our community. The dump trucks pass through at least and I am not exaggerating because we've had people count them, at least 200 to 300 per day, sometimes even more. And as they pass, some of the dump trucks are covered. Some of them are not covered. Water is coming out. You gotta drive way behind the dump truck because stuff's flying all over the community. The ends of the roads are torn up and what have you. We have no way to get out of our community, the section of Birmingham that I live in, other than to go a block. I'm a half a block out of that area. And it is zoned within the 500 feet, I think someone mentioned, or less than that, of my home. I would like to know those questions. Can I get some answers?
Councilor Vasa?
Yes. Madam
Thank you,
President.
ma'am. We appreciate you bringing this information. Did you say what community you're in?
Brummett Heights, Brummittheights, Brummett Heights. I'm the first female president of this neighborhood some years ago, but still the first.
Well, I appreciate that information. Today, we're talking about this particular Eastern Framework Plan. I do value your questions, and we do want to get those answered for you. Now, I'll ask staff, is this part of the Eastern Framework Plan that we're discussing here today? And we can see if we can get more information.
So the Brummett Heights neighborhood is included. If I can I'll get her contact information and someone in PEP can reach out to her.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. So what we'll do is get your information. We'll have our planning team to follow up with you, and we've taken note of your questions, and then we'll be able to get those answered for you. We have a team.
While I'm here, is there any way, I know you're gonna follow up on this, and I appreciate that.
Yes,
It is most important that I carry information back. But do you know who's getting the revenue from this landfill?
No, ma'am.
What city?
I do not. And what we'll do is get administration, that team, will get that information for you. I know you said you had some staff that were outside, so if you'll let one of them, be sure to talk with her, and we'll get those questions answered for you.
Thank you.
Thank you
We
very much,
have
Councilor
our-
Vasa.
Thank you, Madam President. Next speaker, please state your name and your address, please.
Good morning. My name is Courtney Pride. I currently live at 501 Valley Ave, but as a former resident of Woodlawn, I'm was wanting to ask, with seeing some of the zoning being, with the attention of some of the zoning updating to urban neighborhood and trying to encourage more residences in development in those areas. What plans or way that's being implemented to monitor and consider whether the cost of living with like property values would increase and whether that would risk pushing out people. And also, I'm concerned of, or interested in how the public transit is considered and what areas are being upzoned and downzoned, and if there's been collaboration with the Transit Authority in trying to update more efficiently and effectively serve these communities.
Yes.
Thank you for your question, Madam President.
Yes, Councilor Vasa. We do have the maps outside. Did you have an opportunity to look at the maps that we've got lined along the wall? We do have some staff out there that can answer some of the questions regarding the exact locations. I believe when staff first introduced this item, they did speak to their, I want to say downzoning which would encourage the residential use of those areas. And I believe Dr. O'Quinn wants to also add.
So, yeah, urban neighborhood is a new zoning category that generally accomplishes allowing greater density where in those zoned areas. The intention is to apply urban neighborhood along transit corridors. And this would, again, allow a slightly higher density. Some of those areas are single-family residential, you know, that only allows for one structure on the property to, you know, accommodate those residents. Urban neighborhood, I think, will allow some sort of middle density multifamily, up to 12 units on a parcel. It also allows certain types of small businesses to operate with a residence on site. So think about, you know, a small grocery store, or maybe a barber shop, or a professional services type business where the property owner and their family can live in the same structure. You know, that's a idea that used to be commonplace, that people lived and worked in the same place, and I didn't have to, you know, get in a vehicle and drive half an hour, 45 minutes away to get to my place of employment. Urban neighborhood accomplishes, at least for a limited number of occupations, for that to happen in the same place. You know, so the general idea is to allow for greater density. Greater density actually helps our transit system greatly. It's one of the main reasons why we're considering that why the urban neighborhood designation has been created. But again, as President Alexander mentioned, we have the maps available in the corridor outside, and you can see where that zoning category is being applied for this eastern area.
Thank you, Councilor O'Quinn. Thank you for your time. We have two last speakers. Please state your name and address, please. Thank you.
To Mayor Woodfin, appreciate you genuinely. To the council, my name is Martin Briggs. My corporation is the Oasis Venture Studio. One of the addresses we own is 5009 Messer Airport Highway. We've been aggregating land across the street from the Church of the Highlands Woodlawn campus for the last 6 years. And I come to you with encouragement and appreciation for the move of these next wave, as Mr. Quinn put it, of rezoning. We have two hurdles in our desire to redevelop that area. And again, this is all of the land around Sammy's, the restaurant marketplace, a lot of dilapidated land over there. And some would say, arguably, that is the front door to Birmingham when you're leaving the airport. If you're not taking the freeway and you're going to get to Birmingham, you're going to come down through Messer Airport Highway. The first neighborhood you're going to see is that Church of the Highlands, which has done a great job, and in that parcel of land. We see it as a responsibility to make something great on that land that's attractive. And my encouragement to you, and why I believe this is so important that the city adopts this, is I have two hurdles to develop about 5 acres of land around Sammy's. One is I have to buy all of those little parcels, which we've been doing that for 6 years. I've had 3 closings, about 5 parcels, and probably 2 more closings to go. That's layer one. But in order for us to develop, the challenges that Mr. Jason Avery, board president or neighborhood association president expressed to me and many other neighbors, they said they want something that's beautiful, that's attractive, that provides jobs. We're maybe thinking a grocery store, walking area, but none of that can happen with my current zoning, the old zoning, because I got single-family housing, commercial in one area. Without this mass change, I'd have to personally come to you and ask for that. But with this one blanket change, we will be able to quickly develop that area into something that's beautiful and lovable. Thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you, Mr. Briggs. All right, I believe we have one last speaker. Please state your name and address. Thank you.
Good morning. I know it's morning, it's going on right now. I'm Janice Martin. I live at 3943 12th Avenue North. And my concern is about my house. When they was building the Coca-Cola plant, my house has conceded in the ground. It's like it's built on the ground. And I'm wondering if I can get some assistance on that, because Coca-Cola plant is from like this desktop to you, to my house. It's Coosa Street celebrates it, not Coosa, but Tallahassee celebrates it. I mean, segregated. But I need some help on this, because my house was sitting up now. Now it's flat on the ground, sitting there. So who will I talk to about that, or can I get some help somewhere to help raise the house back up?
Madam President?
Yes. What I'd like to, thank you for bringing this to us and to our attention. I would like to ask you if we could refer this to administration so we can work and see what type of resources there would be and what type of mitigation and within our ordinances that we would be able to assist you. There was staff standing right outside. I'll be sure they greet you, and so we can get more of your information, and we can get that. Chief Sparks, do you have staff that would be able to assist the resident?
Yes, ma'am, right outside the door.
Okay, and we'll be able to get someone to answer those questions for you.
Okay, and we've got a new person, well, a new club that we know nothing about. It's a strip club, and it's right in the back of my house in one of the old dilapidated houses there
Okay,
on Cahaba Street.
that's definitely a concern. And so we'll get all that information for
Okay.
you, and then we'll be sure someone follows up.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I would ask that any last speakers, if you're interested in speaking, go ahead and stand up right here in line. Looks like we have one last person. Come on up. Please state your name and address. Thank you.
My name is John Javino. I live at 4203 First Avenue North, and this is Jordan Scrap right next to my house. It's toxic nuisance. And I was supposed to get a buffer zone, and I'm asking, here's his business license, and he's illegally operating. He was supposed to be a block away from me when he was given his license. And y'all drew the map right next door to my house, 21 feet from my house. Here's his business license. It's a subdivision in between. Your map shows the subdivision, the streets and alleys. And it says that his license specifically excludes the alleys and roadways contained on the site. And like every junkyard, he has to have a map of where the city council voted for it years ago on file with the city clerk's office. They said they lost the map, but there's no way that he could be anywhere near my property because he didn't own it years ago. He was given, he has a tiny little piece of property 2 blocks away from me where his original license was given to him. And then he's illegally expanded all the way next to me. And now I'm asking y'all to draw that. You said your downside is in the heavy industry where it's not active. Well, he's illegally operating there. Can you draw that heavy industry onto that property where he was voted to work over a block away from me? he's a major nuisance, the smoke and the toxic noise and everything.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Councilor
Madam President.
Vasa. Thank you so much. Did you give me the address again, please?
His address is
At the-
his address is number 7, 41st Street North, Jordan Scrap. He started out as a junkyard, but then y'all gave him a license to be a scrap metal processor. So now he sits there and burns this toxic waste every day in the air.
What you're providing for us is definitely an issue that will be with code enforcement. And so we're going to take this to PEP. And also we have municipal court that will look into these types of problems. So we'll follow up with you. There's staff that will also be able to follow up so that we can further look at this code enforcement potential violation. I know you have paperwork that says that it appears it's already gone through municipal court and there's some action, but for this particular item, is this address also included in this particular framework plan?
We have all the information.
Okay,
We're working on it.
all right, thank you.
So it would be possible to draw the heavy industry just where his was allowed to operate, because y'all drew it over next to my house and was never allowed. It's a subdivision. And he's not he fenced in all the streets and roads and paved over Morris Avenue is where his entrance is on Morris Avenue. He's fenced it all in to get over near me. I was just saying, can you draw it just where his license specifically said he could operate? Wouldn't that make sense? Because literally, he's not even supposed to be
Thank you for your
by me.
question. I see that time is up. I heard that Kim is happy to talk to you after this. Y'all can exchange information and get information that you're looking for. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Seeing no other speakers, this concludes the public hearing. I hand it over to Madam President.
Thank you very much. Are there any other questions from councilors regarding this item? We're ready for the vote. Yes. All right, thank you. The item passes. We want to thank the PEP team for providing this information. I want to thank all the residents that are present, those that had questions, also those that participated in the community engagements. And so we appreciate this participation today. Thank you very much. Item number 1 does pass. Next item.
Speakers? Our speakers, our reports.
All right, at this time, we'll entertain our district updates. And anybody like to go first? Sure. Go ahead, Councilor Williams.
All right, South East Lake Neighborhood Meeting will be Monday, February the 23rd at 6 o'clock at East Lake United Methodist. Crestwood South will be meeting Monday, February 23rd at 6:30 at the Jewish Community Center. And Economic Development and Tourism is canceled due to lack of submissions for today. And our next meeting will be May the 5th. If you have any submissions, if you'll send them to india.bailey@birminghamal.gov. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Councilor Smith?
Great, thank you. So first, I want to say congratulations to District 8's very own Tiedra Tucker. She completed the Woodlawn Effect Lead Academy for the class of 2026, so I want to congratulate her for that accomplishment. I also want to acknowledge Jackie Fazekas-Varner of Bama Foods. They had a very unfortunate incident this weekend, but she is committed to District 8 and committed to the small businesses in the area, so really want to just reach out and express concerns for her. Also want to acknowledge Phi Beta Sigma and their Sigma Beta Club. This Thursday, April the 23rd, will acknowledge the founding of their boys mentoring organization with the Sigma Beta Club. It was founded in Alabama in the 1950s. And so I would like to request a resolution for that, so ask for unanimous consent for that resolution.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
And the resolution.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you. So next, the Arts and Parks Committee met on yesterday. There was a lot of really good information. So my colleagues feel free to go back and look at that. In addition to updates from our cultural arts institutions, we also received a really thorough update from GMC on the strategic park plan. So definitely want to encourage you to do that. We're starting the listening sessions for that park plan. The first one will be this upcoming Monday. Yes, Monday, April 27th at 6 p.m. at the Oxmoor Community Center. We also encourage residents and neighbors to go to Beeham Parks 2030 to complete the survey for that. 2035, okay? And then lastly, with Park and Rec, they are still hiring lifeguards for the summer season, so please contact 205-254-2189 for more information on that. And lastly, the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute is having their board meeting on today, Tuesday, April 21st at 4:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilor Gunn?
Thank you, Madam President. These are my announcements for today. This Saturday, we'll be hosting a community cleanup in partnership with the Black Warrior River Keeper at Norwood Park from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And so I hope to see all of my neighbors out there for 2 hours of cleanup. The North Birmingham Public Library is hosting their 100th anniversary event today, so I will be showing my face there. Although it's not in my district, a lot of my residents in District 4 utilize that library. Upcoming neighborhood association meetings, we have the South Woodlawn Neighborhood Meeting tonight at 6 p.m. at the Woodlawn Public Library. We have the Norwood Neighborhood Association meeting tomorrow. It is virtual. And then lastly, next Monday, we have the Kingston Neighborhood Association meeting at 6 p.m. at the Royal Event Center. And then last but not least, upcoming committee meetings. The next Community Development Committee meeting is scheduled for Monday, May the 4th at 3:30 p.m. in the City Council chambers. If you have any items that you would like to submit for the agenda, please send them to Carmen Mays by close of business Monday, April the 27th. And that concludes my announcements.
Thank you. Councilor Woods?
Thank you, Madam President. Quickly, the Sun Valley Neighborhood Association will be meeting tonight at 6:30 p.m. This meeting will be held via Zoom only. For virtual access, you can email bhmdistrict1@gmail.com, and they will send you the link. Also, the Huffman Neighborhood Association will meet on Monday, April 27th at 7 p.m. That meeting will be held at the Huffman Baptist Church. Once again, want to make sure everybody's aware of our Earth Day event, Hip Hop in the Environment, partnering with Springville Road Library. Went really well last year, so we brought it back around. This year, that will be held tonight at 5 p.m. Just a great opportunity to bring the family, fun, eco-friendly activities, and a live performance by Shaheed and DJ Supreme. And just proud to partner with both the Springville Road Library and the Black Warrior River Keeper once again this year. The Budget and Finance, the next meeting will be Monday, April 27th at 3:30 p.m. Here in the chambers. Any submissions are due by Wednesday, April 22nd at noon. I know we are getting towards the end of the fiscal year, so we will be flexible to help all of the colleagues ensure that their dollars are put to good use in the community. Also, if you haven't already, make sure that you take the FY 2027 budget survey. If you have things that are important to you that you want to see done in your community, make sure that you share your priorities with us. You can find that survey at www.birminghamal.gov/FY 2027. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. O'Quinn?
Thank you, Madam President. Anyone who attends neighborhood meetings, whether they're in District 5 or the other districts, will be familiar with the fact that many, if not all, of the counselors provide news you can use packets to our residents that contain information that's not only, specific to the district, but really provides info about a lot of city happenings and services available to residents. So I encourage folks to contact their council office because those information packets can also be sent to you via email, which saves us on printer ink and paper. So encourage you to do that. In District 5 this week, Central City Neighborhood Association has a meeting at 6 p.m. tonight at the Birmingham Central Library. Southeast Lake Neighborhood Association meets next Monday at 6 p.m. at East Lake United Methodist Church. We have a Transportation Committee meeting coming up on Monday at 2 p.m. here in the council chambers, and a Planning and Zoning Committee on Tuesday at I think it's 3 p.m. Also here in the council chambers. You can contact my office or Councilor Voss's office regarding agenda items. Want to remind folks that the annual Foot Soldiers Anniversary Street Celebration is coming up on Saturday, May 2nd from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the historic 4th Avenue Business District. You can reach out to them for additional information. And just want to remind folks again that the City of Birmingham is undertaking a multimodal transportation plan. You can find out information and participate in that planning process by going to www.birmingham.gov/GoBHM to participate. And that concludes my announcements.
Thank you. Councilor Vossa?
Thank you, Madam President. The St. Elias Food and Cultural Festival was this past weekend. It was a lovely event, great attendance, a showcase of the wonderful Lebanese culture, food, music, etc. So thankful to all who hosted that. The Birmingham Folk Fest is on calendar for May 16th at Avondale Park. It's a great opportunity, family fun, music, art, community. The Wildflower Alliance's Buddy Big Top Carnival is on May 9th. Hold that date. And lastly, neighborhood meetings. We have 5 Points South Neighborhood Association meeting at 6 p.m. at Highlands United Methodist Church. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Madam Pro Tem?
Thank you, Madam President. The Evergreen Neighborhood Meeting will be held tonight at 5 p.m. at the Evergreen Missionary Baptist Church. East Thomas Neighborhood Meeting will be held tonight at 6 p.m. They meet on Zoom. You can call the office to get the Zoom ID and passcode. South Pratt Neighborhood Association will also be held tonight at 6:30, and they meet at Lively Hope Baptist Church. Inland Ridge Neighborhood Meeting will be held on Thursday, April the 23rd, and they will be meeting at 5:30 at the New Salem Baptist Church. And Drury Hill Neighborhoods Meeting will be held on Monday, April the 27th at 6 p.m. at Protective Stadium. The next public safety meeting will be held on Tuesday, April the 28th at 1 p.m. Please submit agenda items no later than Wednesday, April the 22nd by 12 noon. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to contact our office at 254-2302 at 254-2096. And Madam President, I do have several community events. As Councilor Gunn has already stated, the North Birmingham Library will be celebrating 100 years of community today at 12 noon, starting at 12 noon. And the BJCTA community meeting will be held also at 5 p.m. at the North Birmingham Library as well to discuss the changes with some of the fixed routes. Shadowbrook ribbon cutting, inviting all of you out to the Shadowbrook ribbon cutting ceremony. It will be Thursday at 11 a.m. in the Shadowbrook, and that's the Pratt City area. So come out and celebrate the ribbon cutting of those homes that they're building out there. And finally, Northside Community Cleanup will be held Friday, April the 24th from 9 a.m. to 11. So that would include North Birmingham, Hooper City, and a Civico Finley, and a Bethel Baptist Church in Pratt City is having a community fair and giveaway, and that's Saturday, April the 25th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That concludes my announcement, Madam President.
Thank you so much, Madam Pro Tem. These are announcements for District 7. I'd like to take a moment this morning to, we're still in morning, to thank our District 7 intern. She's leaving us to graduate from high school and to go on to new endeavors in college. So Ms. Sanaya Hawkins Harper, Sanaya, if you'll stand up. She's been with us for the past few months, serving the District 7 office. She'll be departing Winona High School, and she has a 4.0 GPA. And as she departs Winona, she'll be arriving next as a ASU Hornet, and she'll be majoring in forensic biology. I want to call it something else, but we wish you all the best. I'm so excited. It's been a great pleasure to have you in the D7 office, and always a dragon, all right? Thank you. We have the following neighborhood meetings. This evening, we have the Green Acres Neighborhood Meeting. They meet at 6:30 p.m. at the Lifting Christ Worship Center on Pineview Road. And then on Thursday, the Industrial Center Neighborhood Association meets at 6:30 p.m. On Monday, also, the Tarpley City Neighborhood will meet at 6 p.m. As already been mentioned, Monday, we do have the Arts and Parks Community Rec Plan Community Meeting, and that will be in District 7, Oxmoor Community Center, and it'll start at 6 p.m. I also would like to acknowledge Robin Gully. If any of us have gone with us to travel to D.C. for NLC, she always used to be a beautiful face that would greet us when we go into Congresswoman Terry Sewell's office. She's now the Birmingham District Liaison, so we'll see her here in Birmingham. So thank you, Robin. All right. That concludes our, yes, sir, Councilor Gunn.
Apologies for this
That's
delay.
okay.
Yep. I just wanted to take a moment to recognize Norwood's president, Ms. Barbara. She's out in the audience, and I see you. Thank you so much for all the work that you do in Norwood and keeping us straight in Norwood. I appreciate it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging her. Saw that smile when she came in. Thank you so much. All right. At this time, we'll entertain our speakers list.
Okay,
Mr. Clerk.
Bob Friedman.
Hi, Mr. Friedman. We got 3 minutes. Good morning.
Good morning to everyone. It's a great meeting. I highly commend this council and the mayor for how everything was handled. It's always a joy to come back and see Birmingham do its business. That's the right way to describe it. I'm the director of the Birmingham Black Radio Museum, and I'm a public historian. And I'm an employee of the BBRM as well. These are all firsts. I'm not a radio announcer. I was, but I really am a public historian. And in line with that, I'm handing out something to all of you, which is basically my soon-to-be 40 years in Birmingham, which is just shy of half of my life. I spent 25 wrestling with cancer, and 2 days ago found myself to be clean. So I'm so glad to say both of those things and to say it to this council as well. The previous visits here have had to do with the sewer system and the sewer backup. Plum Corps has been hired. I thank you for your persistence in the matter. And right now, they've been hired 2 months ago with no public number where they can actually address remuneration, getting paid. I don't know how long it takes to get a particular number, which I think comes from the mayor's side. But I hope that that will be forthcoming, so let's move ahead with the reconstruction of the sewer system and opening up of the BBRM. This is National Library Week, which I'm very glad to be a part of as well, since we host a very large oral history collection, which has been used extensively by professionals and students alike. I do want to report that our board has expanded. The original board had Ms. Wilhelmina Richardson, who's the general manager at WJLD, and Brother Enos Bragg, and some of you may remember Dr. Reginald Swanson, who is a dentist, a longtime dentist in the city. The latter two have retired. Reginald has passed away. Emery Anthony, the attorney, is still on our board, but we've also expanded the board to include Wayne Coleman, who was the head of archives for the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute for 29 years and who just completed his master's degree, the subject of which was the Birmingham Black Radio Museum. Now, I met Wayne 17 years ago. He came into my office at JLD, yelled at me to take all the sheet music I had off the wall since the fluorescent lighting was going to kill it. And a year and a half ago came to me and asked me if he could be my intern. So that really, you start to feel age when that cycle takes place. But he received his master's at University of Alabama based on this construct, which is here in the city. Also, Dr. Robert Ryder is the head of archival studies for University of Alabama. He's on our board. And finally, Ms. Pamela Stern King, who was the preservationist for the city of Birmingham and a longtime professor of history at UAB. So we're very excited about all of that. Finally, and I don't know what the clock is telling you, one last thing is to say that Dr. Jeremiah Clabo from the University of Alabama in Birmingham, their education department has decided to take on the, I guess you would call it a contest that we had as part of our exhibit to see who was good at trivia. He's taken it on to reform that contest to fit with the social studies core curriculum in the state of Alabama. So that's going to help us even recruit more folks. Again, want to encourage on the mayor's side to please assign Plum Corps a number so they can get paid and begin the process of restoration and make that building a safe place to work for everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman.
Thank you for
That
your time.
information had already been forwarded over to administration, as you know, and so they have that information. Thank you. Next speaker.
John Jackson.
Morning, Mr. Jackson. If you state your
Good morning.
address.
Yes, I'm John Jackson. I reside at 235 85th Street North. Here today because of the same problem we've been having for the past, I want to say about 5 to 6 years. To Mr. Mayor, the President, City Council, I've recently went to Selma to the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Why am I saying this? It's because those people went through and was beat and mistreated severely, but they would give up. Why am I saying that? Because on my street at 235 85th Street North, we have all kind of things going on where people run up and down that street at speeds of 80 and 90 miles an hour. We feel that speed humps would really help us tremendously. Now, what we've taken several steps. First, we went and got the petition done, and that was done, and it was approved. And in addition to doing that, we were sent a map showing how the speed cushions would work. In addition to doing that, we talked to each person that lives on 85th Street North, got their signatures on it. In addition to doing that, we went to our neighborhood president meeting, and this was voted on, and it gave us a 90% yes. In addition to doing that, I'm coming to you guys for help. You guys are our representatives. Now, we've seen death on this street. We've seen a person get ran over in a wheelchair, and we've seen kids running across the street, actually running for their lives. And the only thing we're asking for is for our representative to step in and help us with it. Now, I'm not doing this for myself because the children are more important. I recently heard how the mayor went and did several things to help the kids out, and that's tremendously. But remember us on 235 85th Street now. We need help. Remember 85th Street North. We appreciate you for what you do. We heard about the joy on the library, and we'd like to have joy on 85th Street too. Give us the joy that we want to have as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. I wanted to just, I know you're aware, BDOT does have the Birmingham Department of Transportation, they do have a traffic calming program that, as you've stated, it typically starts within the neighborhood and the neighborhood votes. And have you been part of that process with the neighborhood vote? And are you aware what the neighborhood voted on that?
Yes, that's what I was just expounding on. Yeah, they voted on it, and it was a 98% yes.
Okay, so, I know within that program, they have had some opportunities where that, they've been backlogged when they've had those processes and they voted on by the neighborhood. I think Councilor Woods wanted to have some other information.
Yeah, I was going to add to that. It sounds like you have already done all the steps on your side of the puzzle. And
Correct.
So basically, I do know because I'm working on some of these as well, but they're going to be put out to bid. And so all of your steps are done. It could potentially be included in the next bid. And then it'll be, so, but you're good on your end. You're just waiting on installation. So, but I'll verify that street. But it sounds like based on what you said, you've already done and gotten approved that you should. You've carried the ball all the way, and now it's just got to get in the queue for installation. So,
thank you so much.
Congratulations.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Y'all have a good day.
All right, thank you. Next speaker.
Hal Tillman.
Thank you, Councilor Woods.
Mr. Tillman? I guess she's not here.
That speaker's not here. All right, thank you. This time, that concludes our speakers list. We do want to thank our officers on duty today, Officer Campbell and Officer Tarrant, and our fire inspectors on duty, Inspector Snow and Inspector Giggs. This time, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
What's up, Birmingham? It's Councilor Vossa from District 3. We're over here at, let me tell you, an event that is very near and dear to my heart and a wonderful event for the community. It's the St. Elias's Lebanese Food Festival. This is the 28th annual, and believe it or not, I remember our dad, Stan Vossa, taking our family over here just so we could enjoy it and get some cultural experiences, some wonderful food, dancing, music, entertainment. It's a 2-day event, Friday and Saturday, and it is a wonderful opportunity to meet neighborhood folks, to meet, have different cultural experiences. Again, we have dancing, there is music, there's delicious food, there's baklava, there's really so many opportunities to just have a good time, meet some new folks, and have a wonderful experience.
Oh my goodness. This is truly, it's a labor of love. We start baking and cooking and prepping in January. We have baking days and cooking days on Saturdays. But it's great, like I said, to be able to pass it down to the next generations. That's the great thing about this country. We're all a big melting pot. And it's our sense of hospitality too, and saying welcome to our culture in this corner of Alabama.
I'd say, this is sort of a reunion for me. We used to come again as kids. My dad brought my sister and myself and my mom, and we would have a good time and just again enjoy meeting people, eating good food, having live entertainment, and just having a cultural experience. So it's a great way to highlight, different types of activities in the Birmingham area, and so we're glad that the tradition continues.
Tell me had a late night missing you, jumping on a late flight, but I got me feeling crazy. I've been thinking about us lately.
Well, we're here today at Jones Valley Middle School, and this is our annual day that coincides with Earth Day that is later this month. This is an opportunity to empower residents. We know that we're plagued with blight, illegal dumping in our neighborhoods, vacant lots, and this is a day for us to come out and show some love to D7. And this gives us an opportunity as residents to empower ourselves and try to combat what's going on in our community. I'm very, very grateful for each of you for whatever capacity you're here with us today. And I want to thank you on behalf of the residents of District 7. And I really just, and the love you're showing to D7. And so I thank you so much.
Me show you all my love, let me take you there.
Now, not necessarily everybody's cleaning up today. We have all sorts of resources here so that you can plan future cleanups. But this is to jumpstart our season of showing love to D7.
Yeah, no limit, baby, I got you with them pearls, 'cause you a diamond, whatever you prefer, I'll provide them. You the only one that I'm choosing. Give me the chance, let me prove it all.
I've actually been doing Love D7 since I was appointed to the City Council back in 2018. The only time that we haven't had this event is during the COVID years. So I'm excited that we have started these back and that we do this. This is an annual thing that I like to do in D7. I have 3 C's of focus in D7: community cleanliness, community revitalization, and community health and wellness. And this is one of the largest parts of the community cleanliness focus that we have here in D7.
Hey, how are you?
Well, I just want to say I'm very grateful to all of the volunteers and the different organizations that have come out today and really want to show this love to our district.
My parents moved to the U.S. in 1978, and my sister and I were blessed to be raised in a family that focused very much on the arts. So my sister did dances, Bollywood, and a little bit of Bharatanatyam. And then, I was able to do some music as well. So the arts play a very important role. This is Josh Vasa. I'm City Councilor for District 3. We're out here at the beautiful City Walk celebrating a tradition called Holi. It's from India, and it celebrates the welcoming of spring and new seasons and sunlight. It also, more broadly, focuses on love over hate and on community, bringing community together. So we're out here, you can see we've got hundreds of folks. We're throwing colors. It's all about celebration, it's about love, it's about having a good time, and we got all walks of life out here enjoying themselves. So we're thankful to the Museum of Art, for City Walk for hosting this, for Sanjay and Dora Singh for their involvement, and folks just being out here on a beautiful day. Hope to see you at the next one next year. We were having a great time today. Thank you. I just want to leave, something for the young ones here. Again, young at heart. It takes, I love this joke, uncles and aunties like myself, right? Uncles and aunties, as we say in the Desi community, to be intentional about keeping these traditions alive, right? And making sure that they stay relevant. So if you're a young one, one day you will be an uncle and auntie, and it'll be your time to continue this. So please make sure you continue on this foundation.